now her opponent, standing across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the snakeskin trunks with silver trim. She stands 5 feet 8½ inches tall. She weighed in at 168 pounds even. Tonight, she enters the ring with a near perfect record. 16 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 11 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And she fights out of Patterson, New Jersey. Introducing the current, the reigning, the defending IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine Unified Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Shadasia, the Sweet Green.
Okay, Shadasia, anything below here will be a foul. Lani, anything below here will be a foul, okay? You both know the rules. Let me remind you to keep it clean. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands.
Our co-main event scheduled for 10 2-minute rounds. And we have a familiar face joining us here ringside. Yes, co-founder of MVP, Jake Paul, is sitting in, putting his commentator hat on. You wear many hats, my friend. Tonight, he is going to be our...
Of Lani Daniel's energy there. She just seems so happy to be here. Very inspiring, but Shadasia's locked in. This is a good one. This is one for the books right here.
You could already see that reach advantage that the champion holds. Shadasia Green popping out that long jab from the orthodox stance. She's wearing the gray snakeskin trunks and gray sports bra, all black for Lani Daniels.
Yeah, you can see the size difference early as well. You might have thought, hey, Lani Daniels, someone who is a heavyweight title holder, but look at Shadasia Green towering over her, and you could just see her build dwarfing that of Lani Daniels.
And I've known Shadasia behind the scenes. I think she's in the best place mentally in her life. She's been working a lot on herself. And I think this could be a breakout performance for her, even though she already had that against Savannah Marshall.
But it's all about building that momentum, right? And continuing to get better with each and every performance. That's what she's looking to do here tonight against Lani Daniels, who is a former 2-division world champion, now challenging for a title in a 3rd weight class. Double jab, right hand for Green. She goes downstairs, then back up.
Yeah, look, you don't want to jump the gun in these types of things, but Lani Daniels fought Claressa Shields to a decision. So let's see what Shadasia can do here, because I think that's the fight to make. But can Lani Daniels pull off the upset?
Well, and if there is a good early sign for Lani Daniels, it is that she's moving forward. Against Claressa, it seemed like she was never able to get out of the starting blocks. At least tonight, we see her doing what she's done best when she's been at her best, which is being on the front foot.
She admitted she was kind of starstruck in that moment when talking to her. She said that she felt like the moment was bigger than her. She vowed to be in the moment and be present. And so far, I mean, she's made a decent showing. Good right hand there to end round 1. Round 2 in this scheduled 10-round world title fight. The IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine belt on the line in the super middleweight division. Lani Daniels looking to establish some work down to the body as she lands a right hand on Green. And Green right back with 2 left hands of her own.
Green trying to use her size in 2 different ways, in length and what she's doing right now, just sheer strength, pushing Lani Daniels around. And, you know, we're live on ESPN, so I think it's important to put Shadasia Green in a broader sports context. This is a woman who is nominated to be a McDonald's All-American as a basketball player, and she also has hands.
Yeah, at Old Dominion.
Right.
Hands and handles, you can say, for Lani Daniels. Or excuse me, for Shadasia Green. Go ahead, Jake.
No, and you could see that swag come through in the fighting style as well. Just smooth like a basketball player.
A good response here from Lani Daniels, turning the corner.
She wants to stand toe-to-toe and land that overhand right, and she gets a left hand in there as well. Uppercut lands for Green. chopping right hand, then she takes it to the left side.
Keep your hands moving. Keep them moving.
Yeah,
Good work being done here from Lani Daniels, Jake.
Yeah, and I didn't expect her to want to get on the inside with the bigger woman here, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Well, they want to entertain. They know the platform that they've been given tonight, and it's, I would say toe-to-toe, but it's also forehead to forehead and chest to chest, as we're about 10 seconds left here in round 2.
And Lani Daniels trying to keep her head on the chest of Shadasia Green. In some ways, she's trying to be small on the inside. But in another set, she is standing up to a giant in Shadasia Green.
From her new trainer, Daniela Smith, who was the IBF world champion in her own right. She's known her entire career, and they worked as much on the physical aspect of the game, but also even more so mentally in their preparation for this fight.
Yeah, Daniela Smith, a pioneer of women's boxing in New Zealand, and it's, you know, sometimes you have to believe in fate. David Tua was a hero of Lani Daniels. Yes. A foundational piece of Lani's story is that her brother passed away at an early age from leukemia. David Tua visited him in the hospital with his belts. Then who did she go on to be trained by? Daniela Smith, who was also under the Kevin Barry learning tree, who trained David Tua. It's an amazing story, and it's incredible that Lani Daniels is here tonight.
And she's here tonight to fight. Totally a different way of fighting and a different way of seizing the moment than when we last saw her on the biggest stage, when we saw her, as you mentioned, Jake, against Claressa Shields. She came to bring it to Shadasia tonight.
Yeah, and Shadasia, I think, needs to work out of this and get back to range here. I think she's kind of falling into Lani's fight here versus being the boxer on the outside, keeping her at range with that jab when she's in that Philly shell.
And a nice right hand lands flush for Green there on the inside. This is more of the range you'd like to see her fight.
Exactly, and this is where she needs to be, in the center of the ring, not on the ropes.
Keep working in there, lady.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, the Daniels corner said, make her fight your fight. So far, that's what she's doing here.
No, and Lani's doing good, getting off to some angles there on the side with the pivots and the footwork. So I'm impressed with what I'm seeing so far from Lani. And Shadasia's really got to get off the ropes here.
Again, the optics of this to the judges, they see one fighter on the front foot dictating the pace of this fight.
Doing pretty good for the challenger tonight, Lani Daniels. Let's see what adjustments can be made here in round 4 for the sweet Terminator, Shadasia Green. Double jab for Daniels.
Shadasia has that experience on the big stage, but she also has the type of power that could change a fight in an instant. We've seen it even in fights where she doesn't score a knockout, like against Savannah Marshall. You knew that even a durable fighter like Savannah felt her power in that fight.
And back to the stick goes Lani Daniels, using that jab to create that distance that Jake was talking about, more of that mid to long range where she needs to fight. But the Kiwi is wanting to draw her in and make it a firefight up against the ropes. Oh, nice left hand for Daniels lands there.
Keep working, lady.
Good right hand over the top as well. Daniels is just non-stop volume right now.
And we've seen the judges tonight reward that kind of style when a fighter is coming forward, dictating the pace, and quite frankly, she's landing a lot of these shots.
Yeah, Green using that lead shoulder, trying to tuck behind it. Jake, you pointed that out. It's working when Green comes back with her own right hand. When she doesn't, when there isn't offense behind it, those right hands from Daniels are coming over the top.
Yeah, if you're in that Philly shell, it's really, in boxing terms, you got to be countering after all of these punches. Roll, punch, slip, punch, catch, punch. And so if you're in the Philly shell and you're not countering, it's not going to be working well.
Body shot there from Daniels as well.
Overhand right uppercut for Daniels. As it looks like Shadasia Green really hasn't been able to get much. As we get ready to start round 5. Christina Poncher, Corey Erdman, and Jake Paul. here with you on the broadcast. Still to come, our main event tonight, the Bomb, Alicia Baumgartner taking on Bomi Ray Shin. That one's scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. The IBF, WBA, and WBO belts on the line for the champ, Alicia Baumgartner.
Yeah, and see, I like this boxing style on the outside for Shadasia. Move the feet, jab, stick, and move, jab, stick, and move. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that she needs to stay boxing on the outside here.
And as a result, there was a right hand she connected on there that she wasn't landing in the last round. Shadasia starting to find the rhythm a little bit here in the fifth.
Green circling to her right, away from the right hand, which has been a really good weapon for Daniels so far, kind of eliminating that as she continues to move in the right direction and then land a right hand of her own. Getting her head just out of range for that shot and smartly tying her up and walking her back down. Eric Dahle trying to let them work their way out of that. Has to step in. Under a minute left here in round 5. Right hand for Green.
It's a good response round from Shadasia Green here, and this is part of being an elite caliber world title fighter. It's the ability to recognize when the momentum is getting too far out of your hands, and she has put it back in her hands here in the fifth.
Yeah, big adjustment. Props to her, and hopefully when she goes back to the corner here, her coaches encourage her to keep boxing on the outside there.
I hear them, Jake, even shouting, stick and move from the blue corner. More of what you said. They're telling her the same as these 2-minute rounds. She is the challenger tonight, but no stranger to the world stage. And that smile you see and that looseness in the locker room, Corey, that's been her demeanor all week long.
Yeah, it's almost been hard for Alicia Baumgartner to engage in any trash talk because Shin has been so pleasant and funny throughout the week. But she's done her part in building up what will be a fabulous fight coming up next.
All right, we're already halfway through this one. And, I mean, Shadasia Green has got some work to do here, as Lani Daniels has been pushing the pace and landing some short shots, and now an uppercut just like that, fighting this fight at her pace.
Pick your punches up, Shadasia. Come on.
Yeah, no, and it seems she went back to what she was doing in the earlier rounds, Shadasia that being, and just kind of fighting on the inside versus I believe she won the last round when she was boxing on the outside. So change of strategy back to this seems a bit odd.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It doesn't really make sense, but credit to Lani Daniels, who was planting her feet in the sand and making Shadasia Green work off the ropes.
Now this is smothering pressure from Lani Daniels. And just chipping away to the body, coming over the top of these looping shots.
Nice right hand. It lands for Green on the inside. She just misses with the uppercut, but it's the consistent pressure that is being put on by the Kiwi fighter.
Yeah, and as a result of this proximity too, you see even when those uppercuts are landing from Shadasia Green, little Jersey Joe Walcott walk-away right hands from Lani Daniels. But because of that proximity, it's hard for Green to get leverage on the shots. We know how powerful of a puncher she is, but Daniels is able to take that away.
But for everything that she's landing right now, Lani Daniels is just giving it right back, Jake. It's almost as if Shadasia hasn't really got into her groove. They were the co-main event when she fought in Puerto Rico. She's like, I'm going to do you one better, and I'm going to give you my chief support in your hometown, to her good friend Stephanie Hahn, and also world champion and great fighters on MVPW. And here we are in round 7. And Shadasia Green's got to step on the gas here, Corey.
Yeah, there was a version of Green in round 5 that seemed like the blueprint to winning rounds here. She was light on her toes, she was boxing from the outside, seemed to be having fun and finding a rhythm. But Lani Daniels has been able to just take that rhythm away, just smothering nonstop.
Oh, nice hook.
And she does have the power to change a fight in an instant.
Okay.
And right now, she's got to sit down and get to work because she just landed a flush shot on Daniels, and Daniels actually took that really well. You talked about her chin, Corey.
Yeah, and Green, obviously a titanic puncher. And some of this could be attributed to punchers always believe that they're one shot away from coming back in the fight. But Green doesn't look panicked right now, and now she knows she can at least buzz Lani Daniels a little bit.
Daniels with the shot of her own. Right back comes Green with a cross and a left hand there, and that buckles momentarily the legs of Daniels. Body shot, uppercut, left hand for Daniels.
I mean, look at that. She, maybe gets buzzed a little bit by that shot, then comes back with 6 or 7 unanswered shots.
Yeah, it was just an awkward movement of her legs, but she did not even take a step back. In fact, landed some really effective punches right back.
Your hands moving, no hold.
Daniels gets caught pulling straight back there.
Those feel like essential moments, Jake, for Shadasia to kind of fill that gap. When Daniels takes a step back, it feels like it should be a trigger.
There, landed from Daniels. Green wears it and stays in the pocket.
What a round.
Man, oh man. In his voice.
Yeah, you honestly, to be honest though, you never know when their coaches are lying to you just to get you hyped
Yes.
up.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And you know that they're not thinking that they're mic'd up and on the broadcast, so.
Well, welcome to ESPN. We want to hear in the corners, and we want to hear what we heard from Barry Porter telling his fighter, you need to go for it. You want to go home with your belt. You got to stop her. You got to step it up. But Lani Daniels, what a great performance coming over here to the States, getting an opportunity possibly tonight to win world titles in a 3rd different weight class.
Keep your hands moving. Keep them moving.
Good left hand gets in there for Daniels.
Look at Daniels just gradually forcing Green back. It feels like if Green can hold her ground in the center of the ring a little bit more, she'll have moments like this where Daniels has to step back, where she can use her range and land good left hooks like that one.
Why not jab here, Jake, right? I mean, give herself some space. Do you think that Shadasia looks a bit tired?
Yeah, I'd like to see some feints, feint, jab, stick and move. Go back to the earlier strategy where she clearly won the round, but easier said than done, right? Like, when I've been in the ring before, you start to get tired. Way easier said than done, but.
Left hand connects there for Daniels. Again, another left hand as Green looks to hold.
Yeah, and Shadasia looks like she's feeling it here, taking a big breath,
sure.
stepping back, sitting on the ropes.
And Daniels starting to pour it on a little bit. I'm not loving the body language of Green right now with her back against the ropes.
At all. I don't feel like it's really been in her favor all night long, really. And credit to Lani Daniels, who has come here tonight and didn't get the memo. Or did.
World champ, but can she?
Well, we got a few rounds scheduled to find out. I mean, 4 minutes left in the fight. That's it.
Guys, Shadasia Green barely moved out of her corner.
She's wincing. Something is going on with Shadasia Green tonight.
And if she doesn't
She's
stop
on her way out. You can tell it. Lani Daniels is bringing it on, and they stopped the fight. She's done it.
Referee Eric Donnelly calls a stop to this contest at 32 seconds of round number 9. Declaring your winner by TKO and the new unified super middleweight champion of the world, the smiling assassin, Lani